Alright, boys and girls, here we have lesson 8.3, Model and Solve Addition Equations. Our objective is, I can use models to solve addition equations. Thinking about this, you're going to be solving equations, but we're really only looking at addition ones today. And modeling is when we're going to be drawing, so you'll probably get out maybe some colored pencils, because here we go. Now, in real life, we probably should have algebra tiles, but I don't. I'll have to buy some maybe for next year. But this is what they would look like. When you have a variable like x, maybe y, maybe b, you're going to represent it by a long tile. And if you have a number, you're going to represent it by a square tile to represent the number 1. So let me show you what that would be. Here's our story problem. Thomas has $2. He wants to buy a poster that costs $7. Model and solve the equation x plus 2 equals 7 to find the amount in x dollars for how much more he needs to save. Some of you probably already can tell how much he needs to save, but let me show you how to model it. Here's my math board, which is this little box here. I have a line written down the middle. That's where my equal sign is. So here's the left side of the equation, here's the right side of the equation, and I need to keep them balanced. I'm going to go ahead and model my my equation here. X plus 2. X is going to be represented by a long bar tile. And my 2 will be represented by 2 small square tiles. That is x plus 2. On the other side of the equation, here's our equal sign. I have the number 7. I do not need another x tile, because there's no 7 on this side of the, there's no x on the side of the equation, just a 7. So I'm just going to represent it with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now my goal to solve an equation is to have the variable, the x or the long tile, all by itself on one side. So, but whatever I do to one side of the equation, I have to do to the other. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say to myself, I need to remove 2 tiles from the left side of the equation. But in order to make this equal, if I remove 2 from the left side, I have to remove 2 from the right side. So I will also remove, whoops, sorry, that was the wrong button. Remove 2 tiles from the right side. And now I have one long tile, or x, equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So our solution is x equals 5. So let me just review that one more time. What I started with is I started with a large tile to represent my x, plus 2 smaller tiles to represent my 2. On the opposite side of the equation, I had 7 without any variables. I represented those each with 7 tiles. My goal was to have my variable on one side by itself by removing tiles in sets. So I had to remove 2 tiles from the left side, and in order to balance this, I had to also remove 2 tiles from the right side, which left me with x equals 5. Now looking back at our story problem, Thomas has $2 and his poster costs $7. How much more does he need? Well, he needs $5 more. Okay? So yes, you do need to draw these pictures. If I look at your notes and you don't have pictures, I'm going to tell you to go back and rewatch, because the whole point of this this lesson today is modeling it with pictures. So please make sure you're doing it now to save yourself the trouble of going back and redrawing all these pictures. Let's try the next problem. Okay, here's your little math board. You're going to solve x plus 5 equals 9. I already went ahead and set this up. Let's represent it. So I'm going to model my x with a large bar. And then I have 5 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is equal to, and on the right side of the equation I have 9. I don't have any variables, so I'm just going to do 9 tiles. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now once again, my goal is to have my variable, my variable tile, the large block tile all by itself. In order to have my large block tile by itself, I need to remove 5 tiles from each side. So once I've removed 5 tiles from each side, I am left with one variable known as x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, equaling 4 tiles. So the solution here is x equals 4. Let's check our work by plugging that back into the equation. If x equals 4, then I have 4 plus 5 equals 9, and that is true. So our solution was accurate. X does equal 4. Make sure you draw this picture. It's very important. You can draw it small, but you do need to draw these pictures. Okay, here is, I don't think this is your try it problem. This is just a solve problem. So if I have 6 equals x plus 4. The difference here from the last two problems that we've seen is that our x is on the other side. Boys and girls, this is not anything to stress about. All we have to do is make sure that we still balance it equally. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tiles. On this side we have x and 4 tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Think to yourself, what do I need to do to have my x tile all by itself? Well, I've got to get rid of these 4 tiles. But if I remove 4 from this side, I remove 4 from this side. So let's get out our little marker here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 tiles removed. That leaves me with one x variable equals 1, 2, or 2 equals x. And I can flip that around to say x equals 2, meaning the same thing. Let's plug it back into check. If x equals 2, then I have 2 plus 4 equals 6, which is true. Okay, I think you get to try. Yep, you get to try this one. 8 equals 2 plus x. If you already can tell what x is, that's awesome. You still have to draw the picture, so go ahead and try it. Let's check your work. 8 equals 2 plus x. I'm going to represent this by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 equals 1, 2 plus 1 long tile for x. I need x by itself, so I'm going to remove 2 tiles from the right side, as well as 2 tiles from the left side to keep it balanced. That will leave me with 6 tiles and 1 variable. So x equals 6, which, plugging it back in, if 6 is x, that makes our equation true. How'd you do? Did you do well? Make sure you have those pictures, and make sure they're not all over the place. Keep them in order so that I can tell which problem has which pictures to go with it. Okay, another example problem to try. Pause the video, try it first, do the pictures. You need to model it and as well as find the solution. Okay, let me go ahead and solve it with you. I have 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus x equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In order to have my variable by itself, I need to remove all of the tiles from the left side of the equation, which is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And to match on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Leaving me with a variable of x equals 2. And that does work when I plug it back into my equation. I want you to think here, what operation am I using when I'm crossing these out? Am I adding tiles to each side? Am I subtracting tiles from each side? Am I multiplying tiles from each side? or am I dividing tiles from each side? Hopefully you thought to yourself, Mrs. Twisdale, obviously when you're crossing these all out, you're subtracting. Because you had 10 on this side and it gave you 2. I did 10 minus 8 equals 2, and it gave me x equals 2. Thank you for tomorrow if you're able to see that you're subtracting from each side. Oops. Let's go and try this problem here. 9 equals x plus 1. Solve for x with modeling. Let's go ahead and get it done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 equals x model plus 1. All I have to do here on this one is subtract 1 block from the right side and 1 block from the left side. 9 subtract 1 leaves me with 8 blocks and 1 x variable on the other side. X equals 8. Okay, here I have it. Same process, but it's in a story problem format. Beyonce has 9 hit songs. Beyonce has 7 more hit songs than Justin Bieber. So think to yourself, who has the most hit songs? Beyonce or Justin Bieber? How many hit songs does JB have? Right? And then solve an addition equation. I want you to pause the video and try this one on your own first, and then I'll solve it with you. Okay, so we know that first of all, Beyonce has 9 hit songs. So that's her total. Beyonce has 9 hit songs, and Beyonce has 7 more hit songs than Justin Bieber. Let's use J as our variable. So here's Justin Bieber's hit songs, represented by J, plus 7 more, because that's what it told us in our story problem, will equal the number of hit songs that Beyonce has, which is 9 hit songs. Well, what can I make, what could J be to make this a true statement? Let's go ahead and represent it with some models. J, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Alright, so I need to subtract 7 from both sides of the equation here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Leaving me with Justin Bieber has a total of 2 hit songs. Now, some of you may have added 7 plus 9 and gotten a number like 16. Well, that would mean that Justin Bieber has 16 hit songs and Beyonce has 9 hit songs, but that wouldn't make any sense because Beyonce supposedly had 7 more hit songs. So make sure that you're really looking at these story problems to understand the concepts before you get started on your equations. Okay, that's all of this lesson for today. Nope, just kidding. Sorry, there's one more. Here's the last one. Let's go ahead and try this. What is the solution of the modeled equation? So I gave you a modeled equation, and you need to just tell me what the solution is. So let's go ahead and try it here. Hopefully you tried it on your own. If I have the bar, it's represented by by x plus 6 equals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I need to cross off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Also known as subtracting 6 from each, which gives me x equals 1. Okay, now that's the end of the lesson. I know that was a lot of drawing, but I hope that you can understand this concept. Tomorrow's lesson, we're going to be working with this, but without the models. But of course, you can always use your strategy of drawing a model to help you with any problems that you encounter tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great day.